we get back to it on Saturday versus Manhattan. And, Manhattan is a team that, first of all, Steve Maciel does a great job with them. I've known Steve for a long time. He's a really good friend of mine. And their team's been back-to-back NCAA tournaments. They lost a little bit from last year. They play extremely hard. They press. They're going to zone. They're going to get up and down. They're going to they're going to keep coming after you. Even when you break the press, they're going to keep coming after you. So they're a good team. I know their record maybe not show it, but they're better than their record. And we're going to have to play well Saturday to win. Obviously it's finals week, but it's finals week for a bunch of teams around the country, and that's not an excuse. So we got to be ready to get the job done and play well Saturday night.
How much do you cram in this time of year when once guys are done with the books now and it's just basketball for the next couple of weeks?
Coach Calipari used to call it Camp Cal. I call it pro time. So we'll start going 2-a-days because we have a lot of time. So what I'll do is in the morning do tons of 5-on-0 and shooting, and then come back in the afternoon and practice. Or use morning as film plus shooting, stuff like that. So we'll go 2-a-days, maybe not 2 full straight practices, just 2-a-days as in terms of morning shooting and or film, and then or 5-on-0, and then in the afternoon full practice. But to get guys better, we can do a lot more individual workouts now because of time. That's one of the things we talked about in the off season, is that we want to make sure that we're doing individual workouts, which we have done during the games, during the season, when we're in season. So, and this will allow us more time to even do that now in the mornings before afternoon practices. Anyone else?
Shaq talked about the fact that he felt like this team was more focused and able to silence the outside influences. Have you noticed that?
Well, yeah. That's one thing we've talked about is that, and I've said it before, you can't digest the praise nor digest the negativity. They're both poisonous. Neither of them are good for you. So we just got to, stay focused on who we are, and just keep trying to be the best that we can be. And that's what we got to do, is just continue to play the right way. I've had a lot of fans come up to me and say how much they love watching this team. One, they felt they like how we play, and 2, they felt they play hard, and 3, they love the body language and all that. I mean, so. But as I told our guys, that's got to just be a staple of us. Is just, as I keep saying from the preseason, just trying to play the right way. That doesn't mean we're not going to have hiccups. That doesn't mean we're not going to. That doesn't mean we're going to win every game. That just means if we play the right way and we stay healthy, we have a chance to win a lot of games. And I've talked to Jason about this more than anybody. Just our whole key to our whole entire team is just staying healthy. Bottom line. And an update is I'm assuming KJ is going to practice today. He's been pre-practice Monday and Tuesday. I assume he will practice today. He's ready to go. He's got to practice today and tomorrow, otherwise I'm not playing him Saturday. So that's on him.
Are you surprised that the injuries lingered with that?
I mean, I don't ever question anyone's thing because I'm not in their body, but I only go on what Brad and the doctors say. If they say he's cleared to play, there could be no further damage. It's up to that individual's pain tolerance. Then it's up to him. So. And I tell all the guys that. I say, listen, I'm not a I trust each and every one of you, and if you feel like you can't go due to injury, I'm with that. The only thing is I have to hold that standard of practicing. Otherwise, guys could not want to practice and then just show up for the games, and that's just something that you can't have in a program. So I've had that since I've been here. The only exception I ever allowed was DJ Steffens. But because he had so many medical issues, and that was also per doctor's orders. They said don't practice him because if he falls down, it's like the movie Breakable. He's just, or Unbreakable with Samuel Jackson, and that he's just going to hurt himself in practice because he jumped so high. So they said you can't practice him. And that was from the doctor's orders. And doctor's orders from same thing with Jake McDowell. They told me that you can't practice him, very limited because he's got knee problems. And so the more pounding on his knee, you will not be able to ever have him in a game. So those are the only two that I've given leadway to, but that was per medical doctors. If they say, hey, guys, full go to practice, then you got to practice. If you can, and if you say you can't, then I'm not going to let you play.
How much are you having to watch minutes then with guys like, we see Shaq come out here with his knees, both knees wrapped, Ricky Aaron.
I just talked about in a meeting today, what are we doing? And when I say what are we doing, like I talked to my staff, like how do we manage this? Because it's managing it. Because Jason, I felt going into the UT Arlington game that I didn't practice hard enough. We didn't do it. I was like, man, we got to keep them fresh. We didn't do contact. We did a lot of 5-on-0, and then I didn't feel like we, play with the energy that we needed to play. So it's a balancing act, and the reality of it is, you're going to start really seeing the rotation really tighten up. So a lot of guys are going to get heavy minutes, and last Saturday 5 guys put over 30 minutes. So I proposed that question to my staff today. It's like, how are we managing this? What are we doing? What's the best way? Because we still need to practice, but we also got to be very careful on, like you said, with just the health-wise and keeping guys fresh at the same time. And I don't have an exact answer on that because I don't think there's an exact manual on it either. So I just think you just take it one day at a time. I think what we got to do is continue to practice, but I told the staff today, I think the best solution is we got to go hard, practice hard, but we can't, where I've had maybe 2.5, 3-hour practices, maybe shorten into an hour and a half and keep it short and precise, but to keep them fresh, but keep the contact as well too.
I know Jason.
That's a very good thing to question because that's what we talked about today.
I know Jason has written about it, I think, but we saw Sam Kraft coming in here earlier. What are you expecting to get out of him? What's the hope? What's the expectation?
He'll finish with the bowl on December 30th, and then he will join us after that. And that has been cleared through Coach Norvell, Tom Bowen, and Coach Dickey. Coach Dickey because he's coached in the bowl game, but obviously Coach Norvell's the head coach. And so he and Sam, I left that out of my hands. That's up to he and Coach Norvell and Sam Kraft, and they agreed that he can come out after December 30th bowl game. So what will we get out of him, Matt? I don't know because I haven't seen him play since summer in high school and in AAU and then in high school basketball. So to be determined. And but as far as I'm concerned, he'll come with us and he'll trip with us to South Carolina when we play on the 2nd there. He'll be on the trip. So that's where I'm at.
Have you seen anything on the floor from him yet? Has he worked?
I have not, but I've heard he's been. People have told me, or he's even told me he's been working out down, at the Penny's gym, I guess, and and other people's gyms, like trying to be in basketball shape and everything else. So, but I have not seen him.
How long would he have to practice with you guys before you feel comfortable?
Well, let's just see what he can do. I love his toughness. I loved him in high school. I offered him a scholarship in high school. And part of the agreement when he came here with Coach Fuente and myself, we said, hey, you can play, you come here football, you have an open opportunity anytime to come basketball. He obviously hasn't utilized that opportunity. And he came to me this time, and I told him it's up to Coach Coach Norvell and himself, and they both agreed, and that's where we're at. So he'll, as far as I'm concerned, he'll be on a trip with us to South Carolina.